Are you having trouble hiring laborers at your landscaping company or other positions like foreman or even office staff? Well, you're not alone. And it could be that the wages you're offering are from like 10 years ago. And in today's podcast interview, I'm going to interview a successful landscape company in Colorado and how they actually increased their wages 30% for their existing staff so they could also afford to pay new employees at the current market rate. And how did that work out for them? So let's find out in today's episode.
We weren't getting the leads that I knew we could. We weren't getting the right leads.
What started happening is that our leads are more qualified.
Our sales have probably gone up by about 10 to 15% a year.
We're going to increase our sales volume by $1 million in a year.
Hey everyone, Jack Jostes here, and welcome to the Landscaper's Guide to Modern Sales and Marketing podcast. This show is all about growing your lawn and landscape company with the right customers, increasing your profit, and enjoying a better lifestyle. And a key part of all of this is having great people on your team to help you serve your customers. And right now it's, it's September 2021. What a weird time. I don't even know how to describe the time, but I can at least say that, certainly wages have increased drastically. It seems like they have since for the last 10 years, but especially in the last couple years. And so I'm here with Nate Fettig. We're on a job site in Windsor, Colorado. It's really cool. You may have seen our other interview that we did here. If you haven't, they're installing a water feature. And fun fact is that when this was a development community, you all did the design but didn't install it, right? So another contractor installed this. It's looking really good. And now you're doing this enhancement project, that you're doing some hardscaping. And anyway, it's been fun meeting your team.
Yeah.
They were, we shot a recruiting video today, and I have to say they did an incredible job. They were all nervous. None of them liked being on video. Nobody likes being on video, except for weirdos. You're pretty good at it, but your roommate in college was into video, right?
Yeah, he was a film major.
Well, so for people who haven't seen you or heard of you before, who are you and what is Alpine Gardens?
Yeah, I'm Nate Fettig, general manager and vice president for Alpine Gardens. We're a design, build, maintain contractor in Fort Collins, Colorado. We've been around for a little over 43 years now.
Right on. And what have you seen in, maybe even since you've worked in the industry for so long, what has changed with labor and with hiring people? And
yeah, I mean, I think it's no secret that labor's become extremely difficult to find and maintain, and the methods of which you come across employees has changed drastically even in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it really has changed a lot. And one of the things that you shared in our mastermind was that you actually don't use the H-2B program. You only hire local people in the community, right?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Well, we feel there's too much uncertainty in the H-2B program, and we'd rather go into the season knowing that we're going to have a hard time finding our guys than find out in April that we're not getting any guys because somebody forgot to renew a bill.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty with that. I know I have clients who do both. I'm intrigued though about people like you who choose not to use it, because now you've got this limited labor pool of the kind of northern Colorado area. There's a lot of great landscapers here. There's a lot of great construction companies. There's just a lot of competitors.
Right.
So one of the things that you did that was really interesting was you realized that what you were currently offering was like way below market.
Yeah.
And then you brought your current staff up to market and then increased your rates. So tell me, how did you kind of arrive there? What were some of the challenges you were having?
Yeah, I mean, for the last several years, it's been hard to hire, but it seemed like this spring, the applicant pool just dried up. We weren't getting any applications. And so then I took it upon myself to go look at, what other jobs we're offering, not even necessarily in our industry, just in our area. And I decided we need to raise our starting wage to be competitive and attractive.
And by like how much? You know,
We raised everyone, every current employee's wage around 30%.
and so how did you tell them about this? Did you just suddenly like, oop, hey, their next paycheck had this like huge increase, or did you have a meeting, or like how did you tell people?
Yeah, well, you know, we were starting to get in dire straits for needing people, and so, but we certainly didn't want current employees seeing on Indeed that we were offering, you know, $3 an hour more than they were making. So we disseminated the information through all the supervisors and just told everyone, hey, you need to go have a talk with your staff today so that we can post these ads tomorrow, and everyone's getting a raise effective immediately.
And what was the reaction from people from that?
Oh, I mean, the people that were here liked working here already, and so they were pretty ecstatic.
That's amazing. So did any of them then find a referral, or did
Yeah.
any of them suddenly like, oh, I have 3 people, or like, I guess just from a word of mouth standpoint, how did that?
So we actually at the same time started an employee referral program, and we had some success with that, but honestly, it more happened organically. That I think we found that we were better in line with the market after we did that.
And so did you notice an increase in response to your online ads for positions?
Yeah, almost immediately. We went and we posted a laborer position, and in 3 days we had 16, 18 applications, when the week before we got none.
Wow, that's a huge increase.
Yeah.
You know, I have to share that I went through this experience myself of, and it reminds me of the topic that I was talking to you about of being an accidental employer versus an intentional leader. And I'm at the point now where I've realized I am the leader, and I need to choose to be, and I need to own it. And there was a while where I actually resisted that, where I was the internet marketing director at Ramblin' Jackson, and there was no CEO. And then I started hiring people, and my hiring process was like, I would go and have a beer with people, and if I liked them and I thought I could trust them, I hired them, and that didn't work out. And then I kind of got better, but I had a really hard time starting to fill positions, and I realized that I was way under market.
Yeah.
And one of the things that helped me get to market was actually closing my office. We became a remote company 2 years ago, so it was 6 months ahead of the whole COVID.
Yeah.
When it became cool to meet on Zoom. We started 6 months ahead of that, and I was able to alleviate that overhead and then increase increase the salary of my current people, and then start hiring at a appropriate rate, and it definitely helped.
Yeah.
But you can't just suddenly get rid of your office and you know, all your nursery, all this.
Right.
You have overhead. So how do you find a 30% increase in labor? Like, did that day, did you also go to your customers and say, hey, good news, everyone?
No, we understood as a business decision that we couldn't go to our clients that had already signed a contract and make our problem their problem in that instance. But that day I can tell you that we went into our estimating system and adjusted our crew average wage by 30%. You know, so the only time we had was our current backlog that we were going to eat a small bit of margin.
So not only did you increase the wages of your current people and the new hires, but you also adjusted promptly in your cost of goods.
Yeah.
So what kind of reaction came from the other side of the market, the customer?
Yeah, honestly, we didn't notice a slowdown at all.
Yeah. Does that make you wish that you'd increased your rates sooner?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, it was a scary decision. We talked a lot about it in our management group once I brought it to them, and we just decided we didn't have another choice, because if we didn't do it, we wouldn't have anybody to put the jobs in.
Yeah. So walk me through what are like, how do you just make a decision in those scary moments? Because I'm sure that you probably lost a little sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I imagine you have a pretty big staff.
Yeah.
This is you're not talking about 3-5% here. You're talking about 30%.
Right.
And then increasing your price to customers.
Yeah, we, you know, like I said, I kind of had explored other options of what we could do to attract applicants over the preceding months, and it wasn't working. And this was kind of the nuclear option, so to speak. We didn't know what else to do, and so that kind of occurred to me, and I took it to our management team. We all discussed it. We discussed the pros and cons, and we as a group decided that's what we were going to live with, and so that was what we moved forward with.
Right on. Well, hey, thanks so much for sharing this. You know, I share this with a lot of clients, and they don't do one of the key things that you mentioned in this interview, which is you went out and looked at, well, what other jobs can people get?
Right.
I had a client who sent me one of their Indeed ads, and it was like $12 to $15 an hour, and for an experienced position. And you're laughing, right? You know, like, and I couldn't laugh in the meeting, but I had to be like, hey, let's just look on Indeed. And we found jobs that were $20 an hour with benefits, with no experience inside. So it's like, would you rather be like, some people you couldn't pay to do that job inside, but a lot of people are like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go take this other job that's way easier, that pays me more, that's inside. And so you looked around, and did you see anything like that where you're like, oh my gosh, like, what were some of the positions?
Yeah, I mean, when you started looking at or seeing even fast food jobs where they were offering $15 plus an hour, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, what we do is hard work, and you know,
and it's a skilled trade.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that you can take entry-level people and teach them, but a lot of this is hard work. It's outside, it's physically demanding.
Yeah, and
it's hot.
I mean, you just have to make sure that the people that are doing the work are compensated fairly, and enough so that they want to come work hard.
Well, for those of you listening, hopefully this was an inspiring story. Go and look. If you're getting 0 responses, look at what other jobs are available. Look on Google Jobs, look on Indeed, look on Glassdoor, look on Craigslist, and see, you know, what's your market offering, and where are you? And do you need to increase your rates? Find the money. You can find the money. You all offer such incredible value to people, and they want what you do. There's enormous demand, and you can probably increase your rate to start paying what you need. So I love this story, Nate. Thank you so much. And for those of you watching this as a video, I hope you enjoyed it. Click the like button, click the notification bell, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post interesting videos like this every week dedicated to the green industry. My name is Jack Jostes, and thanks so much. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.